Police and private security presence outside Brackenfell High School in Cape Town this morning. EFF members returning to the school for a protest against racial discrimination. They are not alone. The Cape Party is also protesting to support the pupils, the parents and the teachers. A violent confrontation ensued earlier this month when a group of EFF members clashed with parents. It prompted Red Berets leader Julius Malema to issue a statement vowing that party members would descend on the school in their numbers. Colleagues ENCA's Ronald Masinda and Aisha Ismail are in Brackenfell this morning covering that story for us. We've got, let's speak to Ronald first. Ronald, good morning. What can you tell us what's happening there? We were expecting the protest or the march that has been allowed to kick off around about now, 10 o'clock or so?
Yes, indeed, Pratan. What I can confirm at this stage is that EFF members have arrived in their numbers. There's well over 1,000 members now currently here in Brackenfell. We saw the arrival of 5 buses and many other EFF supporters are using their own form of transportation. Now, what we do know is that earlier on I engaged with a few members of the EFF, and I'm going to quickly step out of shop, Pratan, just to give the viewers a sense of what's going on behind the scenes. We spoke to a few members of the EFF who said that they are here to support and they don't really care about what regulations have been put in place for this march, where 100 people are expected to march to the school to hand over a memorandum. Now, we do know that earlier on, quite a number of police have asked EFF members to behave themselves, given that what happened in previous weeks. The EFF supporters are moving right across where there's a large crowd, Bratan, coming on the other side of Brackenfell, of EFF supporters who have converged here near the meeting point, which is the post office here in Brackenfell.
So it looks like it's more than 100, definitely. The permit from what we had heard earlier, as you told us, Ronald, earlier this week, was that to be 100. Would we expect the police to act against the large crowd or not?
Well, the police have made it very clear. They had a meeting with the city of Cape Town yesterday in order to make a plan with regards to what is happening today. They are confident that the police and law enforcement units will be working together in order to ensure that there's no forms of violence or intimidation that could pan out here today. We do know that the police have said that they've closed a perimeter near the school and to ensure that only 100 members of the EFF will be allowed. Should there be more, they promised to make arrests. Now, we also know what had happened in the past few weeks. In fact, when we were here the last time, back in last week, Monday, where the 25 or so members of the EFF were attacked by parents and protesters outside of the school who said they are here to support the learners who are currently locked in exams. The EFF said they will be here in numbers to address issues of racism, and they've certainly seem to have lived by that, Pratan. I'm going to also just try and walk across because there's quite a large crowd coming towards us, Pratan, and just to give you a sense of just how many people have descended here, thousands who are here, Pratan, saying that they are here to call for an end to racism. And it seems, Pratan, that the march, which is scheduled to end at around 2 o'clock when EFF members are expected to hand that memorandum, could last much longer, given that the police could clash with the EFF members, some of them saying that they are here to address the pertinent issues that haven't been addressed by the school and at large the Western Cape, which they have described as one of the most racist provinces in the country.
Yeah, I mean, there have been efforts, as you said, by the Provincial Education Department, Ms. Debbie Schaefer, meeting with the EFF regional leaders earlier in the week. Now, the police have cordoned off a particular perimeter around the school to ensure that if the parents come maybe on the other side, they don't meet, and that only 100 EFF members will access the perimeter near the school. I'm just wondering, watching those visuals you've been showing us, Ronald, how the police are going to manage that. I think, Ronald, can you hear me? I think we seem to have lost the connection to Ronald. I'll bring in the other colleague, Aisha Ismail. Good morning. You are on another side of that area, of that neighborhood of Brackenfell High School. What's the situation like where you are, Aisha, this morning?
Good morning, Pradhan. It's not as lively as it is on the other side where my colleague Ronald is, but there are dozens of people here from the Cape Party, and we did have an opportunity to speak to the leader of the Cape Party earlier this morning, who said that he had come out here with his members to support the people of Brackenfell and to defend racism. He also went as far as to say that this all-white incident or social gathering that took place at Brackenfell High School just a couple of weeks ago, he did not see it as a racist gathering. He said just a few people and just a few students were invited, and says that it was a private party, but was unable to explain why black and coloured students were excluded from that gathering at the school. But Bradan, also, while there are, as you say, and as my colleague Ronald just pointed out to you, that there are almost 1,000 EFF people gathering on the other side, the Cape Party has been informed by the South African Police Services that their presence here, their gathering here today is illegal and that they should disperse. They've also asked them to dismantle the gazebo that they did put up here today, and it would appear as if the Cape Party has now complied with that, and they have asked their members to disperse. They're waiting for, as they say, for their legal counsel to arrive. But I'm also now joined by some residents of Brackenfell who say that they have come out here to also support the people of Brackenfell and to defend the school. Ma'am,
hold on, Aisha, hold on. We need to go back and to Ronald. There's a firing of tear gas, as we can see. Let's stay with those visuals. What's happening on the other side? The police dispersing, seemingly, those hundreds of EFF supporters whom we saw marching and stuff, and also using a fire hose, hosing down the water hose and dispersing that grouping of hundreds of EFF supporters. Ronald, what can you tell us?
Absolute chaos, Bratan. As you can see, hundreds of people running around the streets in Brackenfell as the police have dispersed fire cannon, water cannons. We've also seen quite a number of people just running in different directions, Bratan. You also, the tear gas is in my eyes at the moment, Bratan, so I'll have to leave it for now.
Okay, you're not able to tell us anymore. Of course, you are also choking there a little bit, affected by the tear gas. What we've witnessed just a short while ago, as we saw those visuals and we heard from Ronald Masinda, police deciding to fire tear gas canisters and use water cannon to disperse more than 100, obviously, several hundreds of EFF supporters. What we do understand is that the permit was given only for 100 EFF supporters. Ronald, I hope you can still hear me. And are you okay?
I am okay, Bratan, but the tear gas is in my eyes. But I'll try and pull through, Bratan. But what we do understand is that the EFF supporters seem to be bordering around that perimeter that was closed down, where the police said only 100 people were allowed, that is close to the school. So it seems like that's where the disagreement came about. We do know that EFF leader Julius Malema was also here earlier on to see and to speak to the police in order for this protest to be a peaceful one. It seems like these scenes that have played out now, it doesn't seem like there's any peace, Bratan, but we do expect that this protest will end at around 2 o'clock when that memorandum is handed.
Now, was the idea, from what you know, Ronald, I hope you're okay, are you able to still talk to us? While your eyes can, I know tear gas, I mean, your eyes are burning.
They are really burning, Bratan, and I'm struggling at the moment.
Okay.
But I'll try and catch my breath, but as you can see in the background, there's still a bit of commotion, but the people have been dispersed. We're still seeing quite a number of EFF supporters. We are seeing police in Yalas near that perimeter where the police have said that only 100 EFF supporters will be allowed. There's of course other rules and regulations within that perimeter. Given that the 100 that's been allocated is due to the adherence of COVID-19 protocol, and also, Pradhan, one of the main reasons why only 100 people are allowed there is because the Western Cape Education Department fears that school property might be damaged. We also know that matriculants are writing today as to whether they're writing at the school or not. We don't know at this stage, but classes for grade 8 and 11 learners have been rescheduled at this moment.
Okay, and thank you very much, Ronald, for staying with us. I know it's a little bit tough when your lungs are trying to open up after breathing that tear gas and your eyes are burning. We really appreciate it. We have to tell the story and show our viewers what's happening on the ground. Now, they've dispersed the crowd, and we saw that large crowd earlier. You were showing us marching up and down that street, the corner at which there by the traffic lights you're standing. Is your sense now, as you look around, that most of them have dispersed, or are we going to get that 100 that's allowed to go near the school taking its position because police have blocked that road now?
It's highly unlikely, Pradhan, because what we are seeing in the background is EFF supporters. They are busy negotiating with police, asking the police why did they start using force, given that they were only just marching and not inciting any form of violence or intimidation. We are seeing visuals now of police pushing EFF supporters back. There's quite a bit of commotion happening here in the background. We also know that law enforcement is also working along with private security to assist. But then we're just going to hear in so that the viewers can hear a bit of the commotion that's taking place in the background.
No, abantu bafika enyigruphu enyigruphu yethu esapha ne bafike abakhontrole bafika abagqitha baya kwalathana but sizolinda apha sisalinda abanye sizawulinda ilantuka we want to the command political and this guy ziyeza but bafike abagqitha bona xa bepha ngaserobhotsini I think amapolisa acinge fanele basebethatha ilantuka protest basika esikoleni phabe sibabola ixesha ka-12 emveni ka-12 because abantwana basabhala ndabantwana abagqibuphala then xa sebegqibuphala
Alright, ndiprepare ukuya ninonke phana ngoba kuthiwe kokuqala uba abantu abayi-100 qha abanemvume yowela
leyo ke into for ukuyawo sonke this is our country umthetho weli lizwe asiyazi iprotest ethi abantu makuhambe on the 100 thina size i-numbers because of iinkokheli zethu zize apha for ukuthi sizizele laa nto esasiyibethela last week.
All right, that gentleman, Praten, just saying that, the police have cordoned off that area and that the police felt that the EFF supporters were in violation of the permit where only 100 people are allowed to be over there. And what that gentleman said, he says that they don't know anything of 100 members who are only allowed to be at a protest. For them, this is South Africa, and in South Africa, people come in their numbers when they are in protest.
Okay, we're going to have to wait and see, Ronald, what's going to be happening there. I'm going to leave you for a short while you catch your breath and wipe your eyes off the burning tear gas and go to the other side and speak to Aisha Ismail at this stage, and you try and gather what's exactly going to happen there in the next few minutes. And we are likely to come back to you, Ronald, within the next hour. Just take a little bit of a breather, and thank you very much for that. Aisha,